Thank you, Cesar and Zulika. Up next, we have Omar Lazo. He is with the Renters Alliance Board of Directors.
Good morning, everybody. Buenos días a todos. Gracias a ustedes, la familia de Melanie Diaz, por estar acá. Thank you for the family of Melanie for being here. Mr. Diaz said one thing today. He says, you know, it takes a village. It's a team effort to get all of this done. There's so many names. You can't remember everybody's name. What I can tell you is that your daughter's name will be remembered. Melanie Diaz, her name is the only one that matters in this room today. And that's why we're here supporting, and we're going to continue, and this is not the end. My name is Omar Lazo, and I am a proud member of the Renters Alliance, who I'm here to represent today. I first want to thank Vice President Kate Stewart for her leadership, because without that leadership, honestly, this couldn't have been done. And this is a step with the Renters Alliance. We've been around for over a decade now, and we're very, very excited with all the change and the progress that we're making from rent stabilization to the bill that we're going to be signing today. Thank you to the county executive, Mark Elridge, as well, for signing this into law today. Well, Jawando, all of our council members that co-sponsored this bill. Myself, I know I came, similar to Mr. Diaz, Ms. Diaz. My parents immigrated from El Salvador. We went to rent in DC, and we dealt with all of these issues. And that's why I'm passionate about this. This is why I'm on this board, because I lived this. I lived in rat-infested, roach-infested apartments where landlords abuse. And obviously there's really great landlords out there, but we're focusing on the ones that are not. My dad cleaned 3 buildings and was a supervisor of 3 buildings in exchange for not paying rent. You can imagine, he collected rent from 3 buildings in Washington, DC. He swept and mopped. I did the same thing. I swept, I helped him, it's my dad, but there's abuses that happen. People don't see. And that's why I'm passionate about, what we're doing here as the Renters Alliance. The Renters Alliance sees many renter communities whose property managers and landlords simply neglect the basics. No emergency plan, even in high rises where seniors and disabled residents may be trapped. A failure to keep and maintain regular office hours when renters can seek services they pay for. They pay for these services. They're not receiving them. No notice of when to expect serious disruptions in heat, water, electricity, and other required services. And too often, the fine print fails to disclose the required renter's insurance provided by the landlord, and it only covers the landlord and not the tenant. We worked with the residents at the Rive Wheaton when the fire that killed Melanie Diaz and displaced scores of others. The legislation will help address some of these issues we saw there. And now, thanks to the council for passing this legislation everywhere in Montgomery County. As a board of directors of the Renters Alliance, I am pleased to see the progress we're making for renters' rights. Like I said earlier, from rent stabilization to today's tenant protection and notification bill, we are making great strides. We will continue our efforts. Another big one, I know it's down the road, but just cause eviction. We have to pass this, and it's going to take this village. And I thank all of the renters that are here today. We are here because of you. We are here for you, and we need all the help we can get. We need just cause evictions for stability for our renters. So my daughter's best friends don't move to Frederick because they can't afford to live here anymore because the landlord raised the rent $600. That stability should not be only for the well-off. We all need that stability. So the next step is just cause eviction. And I want to thank you. I want to thank Matt Losick, our executive director, our board, William Roberts, our chair, Chris Perry, vice chair, John Fisher, Chris Garlock, Von Stewart, Delegate Von Stewart, Brandy Brooks, Sophia Bouchen, and Yvette Monroe. So I want to thank you all, and I want to thank again the county council and the county executive and all the members of our community for this great celebration today. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. And now to join the county executive, we will sign the bill 724.
Before I sign it, I just want to just make one quick note. I hope you're around in the spring when, because just cause eviction is coming back again in the legislature. And your testimony about going out and talking to tenants about issues like this and having people say, I'm too afraid to step forward and say something is really important. We've got to convince the legislator, and I've got some legislators you need to talk to because we should have had it this year. And we've been working on this for 20 years, longer than 20 years, which is ridiculous. So let's get it done.
Sir.
Do you know Sir, could you move over to one seat, please?
Yes, sir. Oh, come on, no. Phil. Sir, I'm coming out. No.
If you could lower your language, you're every shot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Couple shots. Everyone look up in the county.
The last 3 years. Is it victory? Not necessarily. Is it an improvement? In this moment, it's an improvement. And if these numbers hold, then we'll say something more about it. But I think it's important to note that at least we've broken the trend that we've had over the last 3 years. And there's been a significant reduction in carjackings. We've gone from 22 for the same period